The events in this tale occurred very close to the turn of the century when some early celebrants were popping rockets and raining sparks on Bayou Teche, although the tree frogs paid them no mind and droned with such volume the night air seemed to have a voice of its own. Who would have thought such complexity would fall upon us? As usual, the Acadian Saturnalia was a grand and innocent mix of paganism and Christianity. The breeze balmy, smelling of fish roe, more like spring than winter, more like a fecund and pastoral piece of Eden that had drifted loose from the South Seas. But for me, lying on top of my bed in my shotgun house that creaked with loneliness, listening to the long-dead voice of Jimmy Rogers yodeling in the dark, I wondered about the plantation world in which I was born and the one in which I now lived. Sometimes I felt the year was 1861, although my Acadian family certainly did not descend from the agrarian aristocracy that readers of Gone with the Wind would associate with the historical South. Both my parents were illiterate, although my mother wanted terribly to learn. Education of any kind was a luxury in the world in which she lived. She worked in a laundry for 20 cents an hour, alongside black women who spoke no English at all. My father's world was certainly more lucrative but more severe in its own fashion. He racked pipe on the monkey board of an offshore drilling rig and thought his drinking and womanizing and carefree ways under the stars would never end, until the drill punched into an early pay sand and blew oil and gas and half the Gulf of Mexico through the rig, the floor spikes popping like corks, pipe clanging and bouncing in the network of steel stanchions. My father hooked his safety belt on the Geronimo wire and leaped into the darkness just as the wellhead exploded, sending a ball of flame into the heavens and taking my father down to the bottom of the Gulf. The heat boiling the surface, the bodies of the dead bobbing in the waves, their faces burned off, the unlit oil as black and shiny as paint rolling in the waves. Those were the kinds of images floating through my mind while Jimmy Rogers sang, maybe because he was tubercular and doomed to an early death. Maybe that was the true South, the best of it strewn across a cornfield at Dunker's Church, or littered in front of the cannon on Cemetery Ridge, the worst of it in the Cockney's whip whistling across a black man's back.